Hello everybody, thank you for watching. My name is Don. I want to thank all my lovely subscribers, male and female, brothers and sisters out there that subscribed. I want to do another video about the continuation of Satan's worlds. That Satan, this world is lying in the power of the wicked one, and today I want to do a short video about the truth behind the United Nations. It's meant, they say it was created for world peace and security, and it was created soon after the Second World War, 1946, because of the League of Nations failed to prevent World War again. It was created after World War I, and the intention to stop another World War, but League of Nations failed, so they were going to make this. They made this one. But the truth, I will tell you some of the truth, and you know, it has sinister intentions. You know, it definitely lies in the power of the wicked one, and I will show you a little clip why Rockefeller, part of the Illuminati clan, is behind this. I'll show you a little video and I'll speak more about it. This short clip will show that it was Rockefeller that purchased the land that the UN built on. So as you can see by that short clip, that Rockefeller family was behind the purchase of the United Nations site. Sorry if it was poor quality, because it was a very old, very old picture. Rockefeller himself, way before he started his business, was actually funded by the Rothschilds. Can you imagine that? The Illuminati. They funded the Rockefeller business. What do you call it? Rockefeller started in drugs and became an oil magnate, but Rothschild has a stake in it. In turn, as that old video showed, they thanked Rockefeller for paying $8.5 million for purchasing a site in New York. You see, to build the United Nations on. It's all in the guise of world peace and security, as it says, and democracy. But hasn't it been behind the United Nations, been behind all these wars? Really, it's the cause of wars. They're instead of stopping wars, I believe that as you can see for yourself that they've been behind wars, of all the 20th century. And so really, instead of promoting peace and security, but because the Rockefeller purchased it and in turn behind Rothschild's behind it, you can bet that it's all because the one world government. That's what it's all about. It's the United Nations to create a one world government in which the Antichrist beast will, be ahead of, under the guise of democracy and peace and security. I'm reading a bit from the Wikipedia. It says here, the headquarters of the United Nations occupies a site beside the East River on between 17 and 18 acres of land purchased from, as Rockefeller purchased from the real estate developer William Zeckendorf. He was a designer, an architect at the time. It was a site of part of the Turtle. The site was part of Turtle Bay, which was filled with slaughterhouses and tenement buildings. And it goes on to say, in 1946, Zeckendorf purchased the land with the intention to create an X-city on the site. This complex, or X-city, was to contain an office building, a hotel, entertainment complex, but this X-city would also have smaller apartment and office towers. However, the equivalent of £86,577,562. This is never materialised. So it says here, and Nelson Rockefeller purchased. Says here, however, Nelson Rockefeller purchased an option for Zeckendorf's waterfront land in Turtle Bay. So the purchase was funded by Nelson's father, John D. Rockefeller Jr. The Rockefeller family owned the Tudor City apartments across the First Avenue from the Zeckendorf sites. So in other words, they purchased Rockefeller family purchased it from the Zeckendorf designer. So as you can see there, there's pagan intentions behind the United Nations. As we all know, the Rockefeller family and Rothschilds are illuminati and worship Satan. They're Luciferians. So, but not only that, there has been some other things I will show you here. Also, I read an article that says here, religious leaders are concerned the United Nations is promoting idolatry after world release of it. And it says they help funding and reproduction of a third pagan goddess. This is the third pagan goddess that they put within the United Nations building. It says that the goddess of extramarital relations. That is really bad. And here is a picture of this. I don't know if you can see it very well. Sorry if it's not very clear. That's actually at the United Nations. basically it says the goddess of extramarital relations, and also that's the third one, because there was two other pagan idols put in the United Nations building. This is the third one after Athena, and also the Ark of Baal. So I've showed you that the United Nations has pagan roots, and we should all be very well aware and cautious that the United Nations is not here to help prevent wars and create peace and security, but out to promote eventually a one world dictatorial government by the elite that's behind it, and eventually the Antichrist will rule the world via it. So let me read some scriptures. It says here in Ephesians what we should do. Finally, go on acquiring power in the Lord and in the mightiness of his strength. Put on the complete suit of armour from God, that you may be able to stand firm against the machinations of the devil, because we have a wrestling not against blood and flesh, but against the governments, against the authorities, against the world rulers of this darkness, against the wicked spirit forces in the heavenly places. On this result, take up the complete suit of armour from God, that you may be able to resist in the wicked day, and after you have done all these things, thoroughly to stand firm. So stand firm, therefore, with your loins girded about the truth, and having a breastplate of righteousness, and with your feet shod with the equipments of the good news of peace. Above all, take up the large shield of faith, very, very importantly, which you will be able to quench all the wicked one's burning missiles. Also, accept the helmet of salvation and a sword of the Spirit, and that is God's words. While with every form of prayer and supplication, carry on prayer on every occasion in spirit, and to that end wake up, keep awake with all constancy and with supplication in behalf of all the holy ones. So yes, as the Bible says, put on the complete suit of armour, because this world is under the power and influence of the wicked spirits and rulers of the air. And as it says there in Ephesians, take on the shield of faith, because it's very important to quench the burning arrows of the wicked one. The end is so very near in sight. Tribulation so near, Jacob's trouble, because the push for peace in June, we can hear it in the news. So that we need to stand firm with the shield of faith, as I said, so we don't fall down when the wicked one shoots his burning arrows. So we don't fall when we come to by doubting the words or worries of the world. We don't fall prey to doubting God or his word, or worries everyday life, and also temptations. So we need to stand firm and put your faith in Jesus Christ and repent and be saved when God's judgment comes very near. Thank you very much. Bye.